Said I wanted to look like Disney artists did it, not architects. And so that's basically what it was. The bottom line is storytelling. And working with Walt, there always had to be some sort of a story that you were telling. Walt decided that he wanted to do Small World. So he came in one day and we were all sitting there and he said, I'd like to do children from around the world. And so we said, okay. So away we went. And the first assignment I got was to design and build all the toys in the ride, which I did like they were made out of paper mache. Then Walt decided he wanted to do the Tower of the Four Winds. So he says, Rolly, I want you to build me a tower that's the marquee for It's a Small World, so it stands in front. So I built a scale model of what the tower would look like and actually had all the little propellers. And so we went and had it built, and that became our marquee for Small World. At one time, Walt wanted a tea room on Main Street so people could go and have a cup of tea. So we started designing the interior of the tiki room, and Walt said, Rolly, I want you to build a mobile that comes out of the ceiling with 100 birds on it. Well, by the time they figured out the engineering to have 100 birds, because it was all done with air, it would have been too fat to carry all those lines down. So we ended up with 30 birds instead. And so we did the 30 birds. And then meanwhile, he asked me to design the pre-show tikis. So I looked up, I got a book called Voices on the Wind that was written by missionaries. And the missionaries had talked to all the islands, the people that lived on the islands in the Pacific, and learned all their legends. So I read about their legends, and so I designed some of the pre-show tikis based on the legends of the South Pacific. For some reason, it was like the old saying, I was born with a pencil in my hand. I love to draw, and I loved every bit of it. And the thing that was beautiful about it was I did know at an early age that I didn't know much. And so it was up to me to learn. And so basically, in most cases, I'm pretty well self-taught, but that's only because of curiosity and reaching out for things that I thought were really kind of neat. My thing is taking cartoon to another level and stylizing it and putting some humor to it. I started leaning towards graphic art rather than actual painting, because graphic art is flat, and like poster art's a good example. So my style, I really think, is poster art. I think the thing about poster art, it tells a story, and because once you look at it, you can kind of picture what's going on there. It keeps everything in balance. You know, you can't have too much of this and too much of that. I think art and all forms of art, whether that's music or sculpture or anything that you do that has an art form, I think is extremely important. And again, like I said, it's emotion. I think artists bring the emotion out in people as well as release the emotion that they have. And if things get out of balance, then everything goes down the tubes.